Hi, good day to you, Scorpio. Welcome to Meenakshi Tarot. Hoping you guys are well. Today is the 17th of August, and I've actually added something new to my tarot. These are Nordic runes. I've made these runes myself because they're kind of hard to get. But Nordic runes it's not just based in Nordic history. It's also found its footsteps in other countries like Turkey, Iran, even in India. And it's part of our DNA, part of our ancestry. So I also do have German ancestry in my DNA. So who knows where it came from. So let's see how we're going to incorporate this in our reading. So I'm just going to draw out 3 runes. My eyes are actually closed, so I'm going to see what are these 3 that I have drawn out here and here. Okay, and I'm also be using my tarot cards with this, so don't be alarmed to say, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here now. So oops, I'm wondering, okay, this is literally this, and I had shuffled beforehand, so let me leave this here and let's leave this here. Okay, you got Page of Swords, 3 of Wands, 7 of Cups, the Hermit Virgo energy, Judgment, Page of Cups, King of Pentacles in reverse, and World, King of Swords. And I'm gonna actually take out all the rest of them as well as we are reading. Okay, let's start with this first batch here. So what I am seeing here is that some of you are at a stage in your recent past where there has been a lot of group stuff, could be family, friends, you've been very involved in situations, could also be very much like community situations, fun group stuff, but also a case of where there's been this cooperation in your life and a lot of help, but now you're finding yourself going through some changes where you do need to look at your independence and where is it and what is it for you going forward. So there is also the energy here of communication, maybe also needing understanding and also requiring some maybe inspiration in your situations, as well as you realizing that there has to be generosity in relationships. There's got to be this exchange of energies. It can't just be one-sided. So we are seeing, starting off here with the Page of Swords. Very interesting card. It's a very vigilant card, and you have to be very mindful, I always find that the Page of Swords in this deck generally signifies situations where there has been some malice intent. There could have been a lot of talking, gossiping, a little bit of drama that's been going on. Maybe also wishful thinking in some of your lives. But also there has been this you needing to be very quick on your feet and thinking quite quickly about your situations. We see that there has been a lot of expansion. There's been a lot of growth for you. Many of you have been looking towards the future at where is it that you want to be, planning yourself and having these big dreams. However, with this energy has been a situation where you had a lot of choices, a lot of options that have presented itself to you. And there could have been a lot of wishful thinking, even fantasy in some cases. Some of you should be very mindful of not giving into illusion and wishful thinking. Maybe in some cases there has been indecision, maybe because of all this conflicting news that you've had, It's almost as though somebody's filled your head with these hopes and these dreams. We see energy in this reading. There is Virgo energy. Some of you could also be having energies of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, either in your chart or people around you as well. So Scorpio, we see that you wanting to be, in this energy that there can be this change, but you are realizing with everything that has happened, there is this moment now where you need to take a pause. You need to look within yourself and maybe redirect your steps, and maybe also just take a little moment for some introspection or reflection about what is going on. It's like there's been a lot of things happening and there's a lot of information coming back and forth to you, which is making you think a lot about what are your next steps, what is it that you need to do in your life. It's also a time of you realizing that as you take this moment of solitude, that you start to look at what is important to you. You start to realize that you need to have some kind of renewal, some kind of awakening in your life. It's like almost as though things have to change for you. It's like it's like when you look at the situations, there's this intention for the self-reflection to change what is going on. Some of you might also be need to be mindful that you could be having your heads in the clouds when it comes to love situations. Others are also needing to realize that you could be very sensitive about a lot of things, and you could have been a bit idealistic in the way you have been dealing with situations, and taking this time out to self-reflect is giving you a little bit of a heads up in terms of you focusing on yourself and the impact that situations have had on you. Some of you have also been and may have had people that have been very materialistic and wasteful. Some of you may be having to deal with this energy of being, greedy financially, being very possessive of what you have, just wanting all the time, and realizing that in certain aspects that certain things, has been completed for you. You've reached some level of success and achievement in your life, and there is the situation of harmony in your life, and with that comes this understanding that there can be this change. However, you do need to realize that you do have a little bit of this assertive energy. You're needing to redirect yourself, and some of you could be having some situation that is rushing towards you. Some of you may be having a love situation rushing towards you, or some kind of news that is rushing towards you, where it's almost as though you are dealing with somebody who's very focused, very ambitious, somebody who's also very impatient when it comes to situations. Other cards that had fallen out was Ace of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords. I'm going to just take out one more, and Nine of Wands for balance. Okay, so as you see this with this energy here, there's a lot of stuff that has happened and a lot of things that you've needed to deal with. And one of the things, that seems to be almost like an emptiness in terms of your love situation, and therefore you're finding yourself looking towards wanting to rush towards a situation from the past and rekindle this past love situation. So there is the situation where, like I'm saying, you're feeling quite like emotionally empty. You could be feeling a little bit unloved. You could be feeling a little bit maybe depressed or gloomy about your situations. But it's also important that you don't get caught up in some kind of drama, because you need to realize that you have invested a lot of your time and your effort in situations, in relationships, and you do have a lot of options there. But you do need to be very careful. You need to choose very wisely, and you do need to allow yourself to persevere in your situations. And you need to be very mindful of not letting insecurity and stinginess, that lack, that energy of lack getting hold of you, getting hold of your spirit. It's important to have boundaries. Remember that. It's important, yes, as well for you in your financial situation. Maybe your love situation is so depleted because of the options and the financials, you're looking at all of that. You need to be so mindful of not becoming, the desire for stability is making you stingy. So you need to be mindful of yourself in these situations. You need to also realize that you do need to, yes, balance what you have, balance your financials. You need to also be a little bit flexible with how you are dealing with your situations. and realize that you do need to manage. Maybe even some of you need to consider budgeting properly. There's this need for you to take hold of yourself and take control of your situations, and realize that you are facing like these decisions that's bringing you a lot of clarity, and you are needing to realize that you are having this moments of truth within yourself where you are literally forced to refocus your energy and look at where you are at. It's almost as though some of you are looking at a situation where you're feeling as though you're having this mental breakthrough almost. Also, being clear in how you are speaking and expressing yourself to other people. But that does mean that you do need to, keep carrying on. You need to keep persevering in your situation. That even though you may be feeling very tired of going through the same old drama and the constant, and you're wondering if there's ever going to be any peace, you do need to allow yourself to hold on and be strong in your circumstances, because some of you have been going through a lot of changes. There's been breakups and relationships that have come to an end for some of you. Some of you may be even considering new relationships or even revisiting a past relationship. But it's important that these boundaries, especially these boundaries that you have, these financial boundaries, are established now. So this is very important for you, Scorpio, these financial boundaries. So let's draw some more cards here for you and see what more can we say for you, Scorpio. Scorpio. You've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, 6 of Cups in reverse, 3 of Cups in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse, Knight of Wands, 5 of Cups, the Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy here, 2 of Swords in reverse, and 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So you are facing situations again where you need to realize that you do have the opportunity to reconcile past situations. But if you're going to be wanting to always, have revenge and always, if things didn't work out with a relationship with a person or some situation, and now you want your pound of flesh, that's not going to help you. You rather look at cutting your losses in your situations, and maybe, with all the self-reflection that you have been doing, realize the role that you have played in certain situations, and also, be honest about it. And there may be regret for some of you, maybe regret with the way that you've handled things, the way that you've done things. And now you need to also realize that in order for you to be able to move forward, you need to realize that you have been stuck in the past and you do need to move forward. Some of you may need to take a step. Some of you may need to find your independence. Some of you may need to make a move for that, to be more independent. But you're also dealing with a lot of isolation in your situation, and you're feeling very lonely. There's some sort of like maybe your social life is not the way you'd like it to be right now. Maybe things are just in a very difficult place, and you're feeling as though there's just the solitude, and you definitely are dealing with a lot of scandal and gossip, and especially from people that you have known in the past. But you do need to move on from this. You can't stay stuck in this situation, because this is not doing you any good. So Scorpio, you need to be mindful that you may have chosen friends that have been faithless friends. You may have chosen lovers that have been faithless towards you, but you need to also realize that everything that happened because of the choices that you made, and now you need to realize you do have the strength to move on. You need to really release the past. You really need to release whatever has happened. Need to trust yourself and trust your situations and rise above your fears, and know that certain things, it's like when you surrender to the situation, that is like accepting it, but it doesn't mean surrendering means that you're giving up. It's like you're finding your own purpose. It's like you're deciding for yourself, I need to move forward. And you've got this lovely Knight of Wands energy here that says to me, you need to have the courage, and you do have the courage and this energy to move forward. You don't need to be hot-tempered, but you do need to realize that you have the freedom to move forward. You don't need to stay stuck in situations, or stuck in your head, or stuck in arguments, or you learned some lessons, and you just need to realize that yes, there was loss. Yes, you may be feeling quite disappointed. You might be feeling quite sad because of things that did not work out. Some of you might be feeling very let down by others, and this is really making you feel very disappointed. But you need to realize that you need to literally lift yourself out of the doldrums. It's not about being angry about it. You need to find this energy within yourself and have this direction within yourself, and not feel powerless or aggressive, and not say that, I've got to deal with so much of obstacles in my path, but rather realize that you do have to move forward, and you don't have to stay stuck in your situations. It's also very important that some of you might be, it's like when you're taking this moment to reflect and become more self-aware, realize in situations that are making you cautious, realize situations where you have been lied to, where there has been no truth in what you have been told in those situations, and you need to look for the truth, and find the truth and understand the truth, and don't allow yourself to become anxious because of all of this information overload that you might be needing to hear. It's important that you hear what you need to hear. Listen to it, and you can be in the state of positive change. If you can face the truth, you can actually overcome a lot of adversity. You most probably can find it within yourself to forgive whoever has let you down. Maybe opening your heart as well to forgiveness. Something to think about. So situations from the past that is really affecting your present here, Scorpio. So let's draw some more cards for you, and let's see what else is there to say. So you may or may not have a Cancer person in your space, Scorpio, but this is really the cards having their own message. What was this? 5 of Pentacles again. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. 6 of Swords. King of Cups, 7 of Cups in reverse. You may have also other Scorpio or Pisces or Cancer people around you. Temperance. You may have a Sagittarius person around you. Justice. You may have a Libra person around you. The Hanged Man. Or you could have in your chart Sagittarius and Libra as well. So interesting. So we are seeing that once again the cards are saying to you that you can recover from whatever negative drama that you've been in, that you just need to allow yourself to be forgiving. You need to allow yourself to welcome this new change, and also realize that sometimes maybe yourself or the other person, you may perceive them as being very selfish, or some of you may perceive somebody else as being a bit of a gold digger, very self-absorbed, or somebody who's just very, into themselves, who yourself is becoming like that, Some of you need to be very realistic about yourselves and your situations, or these are people that you're dealing with, somebody who is like that. I never quite like that term gold digger, I'm like, we don't use, I just don't like these negative connotations that we should put those kinds of words on people. So you are finding yourself moving forward, you can move forward. You can leave the past in the past and accept, if you can accept the lessons that you have learned. And that's very important. That's the important part, is accepting the lessons that you have learned. And then you can allow yourself to be more balanced and, have this understanding between your heart, between your head, becoming more devoted to yourself and to those around you, allowing yourself to flow from a place of wisdom and balance. And it's important that you realize that you do need to do this so that you can make better choices. Otherwise, you're just going to be distracted. You're just going to be, like I said, not knowing what it is that you need to do. There's a lot of confusion that could end up in your situations. And you could be also, if you don't flow from a place of love, you could be finding yourself really lacking purpose in your life. And that's not really where you want to be. So you do need to realize that, you need to take stock of yourself in your situations and in what it is that you're doing. Some of you may be feeling as though, there is improvements, and there can be improvements, but you need to learn from whatever despair you've been through. You need to learn that you are not just in survival mode, that you can overcome your situations and that you can improve your situations. Otherwise, if you don't learn from the lessons of the past, you're just going to relapse into the same kind of behavior patterns again. And you're just going to be doing the same things over and over again with no change in your life. So we are seeing that there is this requirement for you to realize that there is a little bit of imbalance in your life. You're needing to realize that you could be hovering from one extreme to the other. You need to realize that you cannot be reckless in your decisions. Some of you may have a Sagittarius person, and you may need to also look at this relationship. Has it been out of balance? Has it been too hedonistic maybe? But you're needing to realize that. You're needing to also realize that there is justice at play. Some of you could be out of sync with the Libra person. Some of you could be creating a more honest relationship with a Sagittarius person. Some of you need to also realize that, we have if you haven't read it, the Cause and Effect Sutra, you should try reading that, because that is very much, it's very important that we realize what has happened. Was it the cause or was it the effect of the cause? So, we always have this ripple effect. Today you do this, then there's also, we can look at it as action and reaction. So cause and effect. You're needing to realize that. You need to realize that you do need to have a lot of integrity with the way that you are dealing with things. And yes, that there's always these karmic consequences, but you do need to also have the strength to face yourself in your situations and not always want to play the victim and say, oh, it wasn't me, it was always somebody else. Now, be honest with yourself and realize that there is a little bit of sacrifice in your situations that is required. And you need to, if you are feeling a little bit uncertain about things, you need to change your perspective. Maybe take a moment to contemplate and really look at what is going on. So, in my spare time, I crochet. I love crocheting. I have a lot of little hobbies that I like doing. So I made this little bag, and in this little bag is little initials that are handmade as well. And in that, I'm going to pull this out to see, what initials come up with regards. It could be for you, could not be for you, but it doesn't mean if the initials that come out this bag is not anybody in your space or related to you, that the reading was not for you. Remember, this is just something extra. So we are seeing letters coming out. H. We see the letter C. You see the letter F. You see the letter Y. We see the letter A. We see the letter D. You see the letter K. You see the letter X. And we see the letter B. So these people may or may not be in your space. Might be you, or might be somebody else, but whatever. It or just may have nothing to do with your situation. But anyway, just look at the reading to see how that applies to you. So please remember to like, to follow, to share. Everything works on algorithms. The social media actually works on algorithms. So I will appreciate that. So thank you so much for watching, so much for listening, and I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye, Scorpio.